I want to thank Mark Ludke for joining us today. He's with Stewart-Peterson. We're going to talk a little bit about some trading simulation learning groups that Progressive Dairyman is offering, and Stewart-Peterson has been kind enough to sponsor. And Mark, have you on the phone today to talk a little bit about what this trading simulation group is and a little bit about what you'll be doing in the upcoming months.
Well, thank you for having me, Walt. The trading simulation is being set up to allow dairy producers all across the country to begin to learn how to look at this whole marketing picture and figure out how we can apply that to individual farms and learn an environment that isn't necessarily going to break the backs of the farm financially in the event that a mistake is made. So we get a chance to learn everything there is about placing trades, whether you're selling milk, buying corn, soybean meal, learn what the language is of the whole business of marketing, and figure out how you can make an impact on your farm in order to help improve the bottom line of each individual operation, all in a group that allows you to continuously learn and figure out what it's all about.
Great. And so how many producers are going to be able to participate in this group?
At this point in time, Walt, we have it set up where Stewart-Peterson will sponsor the first 30 that get involved. We don't necessarily want to limit it to 30, but that's where we wanted to make a starting point at. As if we get a lot of interest, at this point in time, I'm set up to be the advisor to the peer group that's going to be set up, and we can set up more than one peer group if we need to. And then if that is the case, and we can set up additional peer group advisors from within our firm. So although we're looking at sponsoring the first 30, we don't also want to necessarily limit it to being only 30 producers.
You talked a little bit about a peer group. Tell me a little bit about why it would be valuable for a producer to learn about marketing inside of a peer group.
One of the things that I find when talking with dairy producers throughout our state of Wisconsin, also throughout the country, is that producers themselves tend to, although they respect the folks that are out in industry that are professionals that help them engage in any aspect of their operation, they tend to really love to learn from other producers. And there tends to be an authenticity to what different producers say, and you can really learn from the experiences that you have, and if you can share them with others, others can learn from them also. And it seems to have more meaning to it when you're learning from somebody that is your peer.
Who would you say is probably the ideal producer to not only participate in the simulation, but also join a peer group?
Well, we would like to see producers that join. We don't want to necessarily exclude anybody, but those individuals that have some working knowledge of different marketing tools, the language that we talk, it doesn't have to be perfect. Probably more important than that, though, you got to be willing to take time to look into this whole marketing situation and try to learn from it. So the time commitment's going to be a little bit necessary to really do a good job. And also, we would really like it if the individuals are willing to share those experiences with others in the peer group. If we don't get any of the shared experiences, it's kind of hard to learn from that aspect. So those are the things that we're really looking for in the ideal participant.
As you've worked with producers in the past, what would be a minimum time commitment you think a producer should plan on to be able to participate?
I guess I would look at, most producers should at least be willing to spend 15 to 20 minutes per day. Now, that's on an average, so maybe you don't spend that time every day, but you spend a half hour every couple days or something to that effect. But you really have to understand what's going on out in the marketplace. You don't have to know absolutely everything, but it really definitely helps to know if prices are moving up, prices are moving down, what is the news going on out in the industry that's creating some of this price movement. Those are the things that you have to have an understanding of. Also then, as you continue to look into it, continue to build that working knowledge of all the marketing terms that we continuously talk about.
When they do join, what are the steps that are going to get them introduced to this program?
When you join, I will get in contact with you. One of the things that we want to do is we want to go through a process that we call a market assessment profile. and we want to really establish where your beginning knowledge and understanding of marketing is at. That's why we go through the profile, and then we'll get you all set up to get to the FactSim website that we're looking at, so you can start to become familiar with that. And then after that, then we will begin to set up the first introductory conference call so that all the members of the peer group can get to know each other, and we'll get started from that point. Once we get started, we'll decide how often we want to have conference calls, and from there, then I will be available by phone or by email to answer questions as to how the program actually works. We're going to reserve actual market advisory strategy for the conference calls, so that we would tend to want to have you think about your own strategy on your own. Then we can discuss that through peer group and not have offline conversations away from the group about different strategies. We'd like to have each individual producer come up with them themselves.
And if a producer's interested at this point, how would they go about joining?
Well, to join, I can be contacted either by phone or by email. Our phone number is 800-334-9779. My email address is mludke@stewart-peterson.com.
Great. This sounds like something that I think many of our producer readers will be interested in, and we're grateful to be able to offer it to them. Appreciate your time today, Mark, and look forward to hearing updates in the future.
Thank you very much, Walt.